born on December 24, 1166 in Oxford. John was the youngest son of King Henry II of England and Eleanor of Aquitaine. As the youngest of 5 sons, he earned the nickname John Lackland, since he was initially not expected to inherit any significant lands or titles. Yet, fate had other plans. The deaths of his elder brothers and the collapse of alliances within the Angevin Empire paved the way for John's ascension to the throne in 1199 following the death of his brother Richard the Lionheart. John inherited a vast realm spanning England, Normandy, and territories across France. But maintaining such a vast empire would prove to be a challenge he was ill-prepared to meet.
John's reign was marred from the start by conflict and betrayal. His first major challenge came from his nephew, Arthur of Brittany, who claimed the throne as Richard's rightful heir. John's campaign to secure his rule in France was ruthless, culminating in Arthur's mysterious disappearance, an event that tarnished John's reputation and earned him accusations of murder. His inability to manage the Angevin Empire became evident as he faced rebellions from powerful French barons and the aggressive expansion of King Philip II of France. In 1204, John suffered a humiliating defeat, losing Normandy to Philip. This loss marked the beginning of the end for the Angevin Empire, reducing England's continental holdings and diminishing John's stature as a ruler.
Back in England, John's struggles continued as his financial demands and heavy-handed rule alienated his barons. To fund his military campaigns, he imposed excessive taxes and fines, angering the nobility and the church. His disputes with Pope Innocent III over the appointment of the Archbishop of Canterbury led to England being placed under interdict, and John's excommunication, a rare and severe punishment for a monarch. During this time, John further centralized his authority, often at the expense of his subjects. His reputation for cruelty, treachery, and incompetence grew, making him one of the most unpopular monarchs in English history. Yet, despite his flaws, John's reign laid the groundwork for significant changes in England's political landscape.
By 1215, discontent among the barons reached its breaking point. Furious over John's military failures, high taxes, and arbitrary justice, they rebelled and captured London. Facing a formidable uprising, John was forced to negotiate. On June 15, 1215, at Runnymede, he met with the rebel barons and sealed the Magna Carta, a document that would become one of the cornerstones of constitutional governance. The Magna Carta was a direct response to John's abuses of power. It established principles such as the protection of church rights, limits on taxation without baronial consent, and the right to a fair trial. While initially intended as a peace treaty, the Magna Carta would become a symbol of the struggle for liberty and the rule of law, influencing legal systems around the world.
John's agreement to the Magna Carta was short-lived. He quickly sought to nullify the document, prompting renewed rebellion and a civil war known as the First Barons' War. Despite initial successes, his fortunes worsened. In October 1216, while retreating from a campaign, John contracted dysentery and died at Newark Castle on October 18, 1216. He was succeeded by his 9-year-old son, Henry III, under the regency of William Marshal.
King John's legacy is one of contradictions. While his reign was marked by failures and tyranny, his actions indirectly led to one of the most important legal documents in history, the Magna Carta. This charter not only curbed the power of the monarchy, but also laid the foundation for parliamentary democracy and individual rights. John's reign also highlighted the complexities of medieval kingship, where personal ambition, military struggles, and political alliances often collided. His inability to navigate these challenges cemented his reputation as one of England's worst kings. Yet, his reign also spurred reforms that would shape England's future for centuries.
King John's story is a cautionary tale of power, failure, and unintended legacy. While his rule was marked by incompetence and cruelty, his missteps forced the creation of mechanisms that limited royal authority and protected individual freedoms. In this way, John's troubled reign became a turning point in English history, proving that even the most reviled leaders can leave behind a lasting impact. Today, King John remains a figure of fascination and debate, a ruler whose flaws and failures contributed to one of history's greatest milestones in the evolution of governance and the rule of law.